My dad was always trying to like teach us, right? And he would take us to his property sometimes. And I think he wanted us to, kind of sometimes in Asian culture, like the family business is your business, right? So when they had the restaurant, okay, so I don't want to like too much backstory, but basically, too long didn't read. My parents had a fast food Chinese restaurant, and then my brother and I grew up in that restaurant helping out, and then they transitioned to real estate. And my dad's goal was to replace his restaurant income with rental income. At the time, he didn't really know what he was doing, and so he just bought what he could afford and what he knew, which was like Taylor Boulevard, 7th Street, like kind of just picked up one for $1, picked up one for $10,000, stuff like that. And then I heard, and he would just figure it out, right? So he would take me and my brother. So we went from like chopping broccoli and rolling egg rolls and crab rangoons and taking orders, wiping tables. And every now and then he'd take us out to like cut grass, hold that drywall, pretend you're an adult so we can set out this tenant who didn't pay rent. And so we just kind of like, that was our immersion and like getting into it. And I think my dad thought it would be fun for us to flip a house together, even though none of us knew what we were doing. We had no design, like didn't know anything about pricing for, anything. And so my dad actually had his license, but he didn't actually help clients. He just used it to get into houses and like, so he didn't have to wait for anyone. And he would have me run the comps. And he's like, what do you think this house would be worth after we fixed it up? And so anyway, we actually had an agent who listed it for us. But my brother and I, we we helped. Air quotes there. For those who can't see, we helped out. And he split the money with us. And it was like our first deal together. I would say that's kind of, yeah.
Did you say what all did you learn that deal, or how did it shift your approach to real estate investing?
Honestly, I felt like my dad let me get away with a lot, and he still gave me credit because I was like, man, it's too hot. I'm just going to sit over there.
But I think what I learned, also he kind of like, he worked with it, because he said, okay, she's not really into getting sweaty and like, doing the brawn work. I'll just let her like run the comms and do like the computer work. This kind of leads up to where I am coming now. But my brother, I think he actually learned quite a bit because he was more like willing to help out. So now he like knows how to do electric, and yeah, he's quite handy, right? But I just learned that, at the time I was too young, but it was just like a suck of confidence, I think, and also just like knowing that, like learning a little bit about the family business, air quotes, right? And you can buy something for this price, put this much money into it, and then sell it and make some money. It wasn't my money, but my dad bought that.
Yeah, I know we did a lot on that too.
And I remember there was like no working toilet, and it was such a hot mess.
So you're lucky we didn't toilet rule and the working air conditioning rule during the summer to make sure that we go to these houses that all that stuff. No, so.
I'll just say that let's take lots actually means learning on the site. LOTS. That's what. So when they mentioned lots, it's learning on the site. That's something with our local RIA here in Louisville, Kentucky. And we want to let you know that managing real estate can be complicated. Get one thing off your plate and contact our good friends at Liberty Mutual. They have amazing rates. Click on the link in the description, or you can call 1-800-266-0644. Mention the code Milton Ali KY 444-689 and get your free quote today. And so, what was the one transaction that changed everything for you? Like anytime. It was one transaction or investing that made you say, okay, you know what?
Light bulb went off.
Light bulb. It was the thing. It changed. It was a pivotal point in your journey.
Oh, man. I feel like, along the way, you're going to have a lot of those ding-dings,
Oh, of course. Yes.
I would say there was good thing real estate's not like children. You can have a favorite. And I would say that for me, one of them was this little house that I bought in Berrytown. So at the time, it was during COVID, and I remember looking at the house, and of course, I wanted my parents to come and look at it with me. And there were so many people looking at it too. And at the time, I thought that I was overpaying for the house at $110,000. So it was a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, a little over 1,000 square feet on 0.3 acres, and it's minutes to Anchorage, which, for those of you who are not familiar, it has its own school district, and
It's the wealthiest zip
One of the
in
wealthiest,
Kentucky.
yeah.
We're close.
Yeah.
Top three. Yes.
yes. And this was just like the little, like, I guess you can say it's the hood. I don't know if you want to write that out, but like it was like the hood of Anchorage, right? Because just my price point, 110, so like 600,000 plus at the time, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm overpaying for this house. I either paid 110 or 120. Anyways, now it's more than the value has doubled. And I'm like, I couldn't believe that at the time. I thought that I was overpaying for it. And now I'm so thankful that I did it when I did. And so I wish that I came to that realization sooner, but sometimes you have to like let some time go by to really be able to look back and say, whoa, I'm glad.